another episode of the Asian Chamber Chats. Today we have a very special guest with all her decorations. This is very exciting for us. We have Judy from JPOP Co. And welcome, Judy. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so excited to have you. I know we met briefly at the Pickle event at our annual party.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about you and tell our audience more about you, your background.
Oklahoma. Hi, Oklahoma. I was like trying to look at the camera, look at you. My name is Judy, and I am the proud owner and creative director of JPOP Co Balloons. JPOP is a very fun brand. Basically, as you can see here, it's just a bunch of colors. It's just really fun. So when you think of it, just kind of when you look at any of our designs, it just kind of makes you happy. But we work with a lot of different businesses and like events where it scales from anything from small to large. So we do anything from like baby showers, birthdays to corporate events. So we just love celebration. We love celebrating people. And if you think it's important, then it's important to us. So that's JPOP. And we also have another company as well. Called Summer of 90, and that's my wedding and event planning company where we specialize in wedding planning. And it's a lot of, I keep looking at John. Sorry.
Are you good? John's our
I can look at John, right? I can look at John?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, it's the corporate side because I'm like, plugged in to make eye contact with both you guys. But I'm like, wait a minute. I shouldn't look at him. I should look at you guys. Oklahoma. But basically Summer of 90 is very much like focused on like the cultural weddings. I don't just do cultural weddings, but that's just how it's become for the business. It's a lot of cultural weddings.
Okay. Cultural weddings, like talk more about that. Like, is it more Asian cultural weddings or all kinds of cultural weddings?
Yeah, so right now it's a lot of the Vietnamese culture.
Okay.
Just because, like with me being Vietnamese, like I'm very plugged into like what happens during the wedding, the table greetings, all of that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my clients, like a lot of my couples, they are reaching out to find somebody who is very familiar with the cultural piece for the Vietnamese. But I do I can do other multicultural weddings, as well as just like regular weddings. So we do everything.
Oh, wow.
But we just naturally, that became our niche, is just Vietnamese weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here because Vietnamese, like, because we Asians, we do need that representation and to have someone who understands it. Because you're Vietnamese
Yes.
and you were born and raised Oklahoman.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. I feel like when we have that representation, especially have someone who knows the ins and outs, like take me through that process. I feel like that's so interesting.
Ooh, okay. I got to really think about this so I don't like just take you on a whole journey. So the whole process of wedding planning.
Yeah, especially a cultural wedding. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So normally if I'm working with my couples, like let's say the pre-wedding piece of it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to walk you through like the whole, like the pre-wedding or just like the day of?
I think the pre-wedding is great. Yeah.
Pre-wedding?
Yeah,
Okay.
the highlights.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. You guys ready?
Yeah. Like take us through the ride. Take us through the ride.
Okay, so for the pre-wedding, I have like depending on the packages that the couples book with, like we have 3 different ones that ranges from like the month of, partial, or full. So let's say if the couple is wanting a full service wedding, pre-planning package where like I handle everything. So that's me calling the vendors. That's me calling all of the vendors, meeting with them for the vendors, like managing the vendors, like the reviewing the contracts, making sure that if we've talked about something where it's being offered to the client, the contract states that as well. And so it's a lot of that. It's a lot of project management for the couple, keeping them on their budget, reviewing their budget, letting them know how much everything costs because it's so expensive. You slap wedding on it and it's just pricey. It's great.
What's the biggest difference in cost between a Vietnamese wedding and an American wedding?
I think so, because a big piece of the cost comes from the 8-course meals.
Okay.
Yeah. And so whenever you're judging it based off of like either a buffet or like a standard like American meal versus like a Vietnamese like 8-course meal, it's not it's leaps and bounds way different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what brings you joy when planning a Vietnamese wedding versus we're planning like an American wedding?
Um, I think just like, as I'm getting older, I just appreciate our Vietnamese culture so much. It's so much like it's so rich, and just like the family traditions and just like seeing the bride and groom during tea ceremony and what that means to us and having, like seeing their grandma put the jewelry on the bride. I just think there's so much beauty to our culture that's just very like underrated, and so I just appreciate that. And so every time whenever I get to be part of that, I just feel like um it's reminding me of my family and where I came from. And so it's a constant reminder of how proud I should be, how proud I am to be a Vietnamese
Oh,
American.
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have a tea ceremony too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
So
I have experience with Chinese weddings because
mhm.
I'm ethnically Chinese, and yeah, there's tea ceremony, like all the meals and everybody kind of get together and eat.
Yeah, the pig.
It's more about like the food. I feel like
Hmm.
yeah, ceremony is it like the bride and groom like in front of the parents and offering them tea?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so I
okay,
feel like it's maybe the same,
okay,
right?
okay,
Yeah, not even similar. I think it's very much the same, but like so with your
okay.
culture, can you walk me through, what your experience is? I think it's very similar or if not the same with Vietnamese.
Hmm. Well, from my experience, I've never been married, so all I've seen is from the TV shows and the Chinese weddings I've worked with
Yeah.
on. But yeah, I think the biggest difference I think with American weddings is I feel like American weddings are like more ceremonial and systematic, where there's like the first dance and there's all these things that needs to happen. When I'm a wedding photographer, I'm trying to keep them like on the schedule.
Hmm.
But I think with Chinese weddings specifically, it's more communal where, the bride and groom have to go drink with everybody at each table.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's more of like to bring everyone together where the attention is more on the community. But I'm not sure, and that's
That
just my opinion.
that's exactly it.
Yeah,
That's the Vietnamese
okay.
wedding.
Well, I'm glad we have you here in
Yeah.
Oklahoma to represent and to make people that's their biggest day.
Hmm.
Weddings are most people's biggest day.
Yeah, you only get married once, hopefully. So, like you can't redo that. It's almost like it's not like a birthday. You can celebrate a birthday every single year, but you only get one chance
For
to do
sure.
the wedding. So you want to do it right and you want to enjoy your wedding.
Yeah,
So yeah, you gotta hire the right team.
yeah, definitely. But you can hire Judy's team at J-Pop Co. to celebrate birthdays.
Yes, yes. And then after we plan your wedding and you have your baby,
Yeah, yeah,
we can do your balloons. So it kind of just flows.
yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of flows together.
Well, let's dive into J-Pop Co. Like how does J-Pop Co. come in? How was it born?
So funny story. I did not have I don't know if this is popular to say, but I did not have interest in balloons originally when I started J-pop.
Okay.
Like it was just like it was an organic thing that just became what it is today. So let me take you back. Let me take you back
Okay.
to how J-pop got started. So Summer of 90 was born first from just like the love of um back whenever we planned our wedding during COVID. And I've always had an interest with wedding planning, but I think I became very passionate about it whenever we got to plan ours, just because we did have a wedding planner. She was like not a Vietnamese wedding planner, and she did a great job. But um, I just realized that there was just a lot of the Vietnamese aspect that I wanted to really make sure that it didn't just get glazed over. So that's why I wanted to become a wedding planner. So um, whenever we started that company for the wedding planning, I really wanted to offer clients kind of a one-stop shop. So it was between charcuterie or balloons. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, charcuterie, I don't know, sounds a little bit more complicated. Balloons seems easy, right? Like you could just tie stuff together and slap it together and it will look great. So anywho, I ended up going, making an appointment, or not making an appointment, but I ended up traveling all the way to Dallas to take a workshop to learn more about balloons. So it was an entire workshop where you got to spend a lot of time with other like-minded entrepreneurs who was there with the same goal, is to learn about balloons and to build their skill around just how to properly tie balloons and everything. And I just remember after I came back from that workshop, and just being around other business owners like me who kind of were in the same boat, but then they were wanting to learn more about balloons. It just kind of fueled a passion. So when I came back, I did a free balloon install for a nonprofit, and it was supposed to be more like J-pop was supposed to be under Summer of 90, but it just took off like a beast of its own. And people were just like, hey, can I get balloons from you? Like, are you available for this date? And I just remembered, I was like, oh, okay, like maybe this is not supposed to be under Summer of 90. Maybe it's supposed to be its own business. So I spent the next few months coming up with the name and the branding and everything, and then J-pop was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot. Yes, it's a lot to dive in.
Yeah. Great stuff. Okay, so talk to me about the branding and the name behind J-pop. It's not Japanese pop.
No.
Okay.
But you did get it right though, right? Whenever we sat down, you said Judy.
For Judy.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm sure.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
walk us through the branding. I know it's very happy. I'm
Mhm.
very happy just looking at all the sets. So I can't wait to see like a whole balloon set that you have.
Yeah.
So what's your inspiration of the branding?
So okay, so like it's very bright. It's whenever I think of J-pop, I don't know how to do that, but it kind of reminds me of like K-pop,
Okay.
you know, and I love K-pop.
Me too.
Like I love how bold they are. Like I just love their style, like everything about them, like their music to their cinematography. Like I love everything. And so I feel like whenever I selected the colors, it was with K-pop in mind.
Okay.
And if I could have an alter ego, it would be like a K-pop artist, you know, because they're just so bold and so stylish. And so that was kind of the branding colors and everything that I kind of went off of, like very neon, very purple.
You are very stylish, and I think your brand is very stylish too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With my cowboy boot.
Well, it's Oklahoma, you know.
Yeah.
Have you heard Blackpink's new album?
Wait, new album?
Yeah, it just came out like this week, I think.
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's really, really good.
Really? What's your favorite song?
It's not their, I think I forgot the name, but this one, I think there's one song in it that's more like, instead of more poppy, it's more like, I'm gonna say, what's that, like dubstep, I think.
Should we play it?
Yeah, that's what I. But I
You
Dude.
like dubstep?
I'm not a fan of house music.
Yeah, it's house. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think they're
Different.
they're pivoting a little bit, but they're still really good.
Hmm.
You see K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yes.
Yeah, do you like that movie?
I
think it
say.
was like, I think it's probably like the best animated movie of last year.
It's so good. And the music, oh my gosh, Golden.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's my gym music. Like, I'd be like bump into Golden in the
Can you
gym.
sing it? No.
Well, we can sing it together.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you did the high notes. Don't even get me started.
Yeah. I can't do the high notes.
This will be maybe for the next episode. Whenever maybe we get like a couple soju shots.
Okay.
Then give me the mic. I don't care if I hit the notes. I'll do it. You don't even have to force me. I'll just start singing.
For sure. Oh, let's do it. We should definitely have an episode do that. But yeah. What's like? I'm curious. Like, what's one thing in balloons that are more challenging than you expected?
So it wasn't just slapping it together and making it, it would look good. I think whenever I first started working with balloons and I didn't have the eye for it, everything looked good to me. I'm like, oh, this looks fantastic. My sheen balloon package that I got from Shein, and I put it together for my corporate, whenever I worked in corporate, and I was like, oh, I could do it. It was terrible. Please don't find that. I actually, I will show you that picture because it'll show you guys like how far we've come. But I think the biggest challenge is the tying. And whenever we're like, now that we're like working with a lot of corporate clients and bigger projects, it's a lot of balloon tying. And if you know, like, you can't build calluses on your thumbs or your cuticles. Like, it just, like you bleed. Like our fingers bleed from tying too much sometimes.
It's hard work.
It's very, it's labor
It's
intensive.
like repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think whenever it comes to that, it is very labor intensive and it's challenging.
Okay.
But if you're talking more like on the install, my toxic trait is thinking I'm very optimistic. Very, very,
Say that's
very
a toxic
optimistic.
trait.
Yes, toxic trait. It's great for a lot of things, but whenever it comes to just kind of like, when I look at something, I'm like, oh, that looks easy. And then I try it and it takes me like 5 hours, and I think something like where they're creating a balloon flower, I'm like, oh, that's going to take me like 30 minutes to do. So then I offer it in my design, and then now I'm doing it for a client. And it's like, I spent just as much time creating that compared to like a big. So yeah, my toxic trait.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's a toxic trait because
I think it is.
I feel like it's so good for entrepreneurs. One of the best advice I've heard, and he's also an entrepreneur. He started an ad agency
Mm-hmm.
in North Dakota, was to not always find positivities, but possibilities. So he has that optimism where he was like, oh yeah, what if we can do that? What if he runs into a dead end and he's like, what if we can do that? What if we can do that? That looks easy. I can start LLC in the afternoon. I can do that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a toxic trait.
No, so that is a good trait. Okay, so like whenever I say toxic, I think depending on the situation, it can be, not so great. But for most, like as an entrepreneur, you do have to have like a very unrealistic like amount of what were we like, not enthusiasm, but like optimism. You do, because some days you just wake up and you're like, man, this is hard. This is hard work. But then it's a lot of like, whenever you're trying to pivot to try something new, you have to have that optimism to always want to, yeah.
Let me ask you something else about balloons and J-Pop Co.
Yes.
So like, what should people look for? Like when they see J-Pop Co.'s work, what should people look for that's like unique to your brand or that's a little different than everybody else?
So what we specialize in is the attention to detail.
Okay.
And I know like a lot of artists will have their own style, but what's really cool is a lot of like, I'm friends with a lot of the balloon artists, so it's a very tight community. Like we all support each other because we all, at the end of the day, we offer the same service, but it's a matter of like the style and like, just how we do how we run our business that kind of differs us from each other, differentiates us from each other. So but yeah, I would definitely say attention to detail. A lot of artists, or clients, whenever they see our work, they're like, they can tell it's our work now, which is really cool because I'll get a text and they're like, did you do this? And I'm like, yeah, how did you know? And I haven't even posted on social media yet. So it's a lot of like intentionality to what we do, where it's like whenever we're creating something, we look at the backdrop or the area that we're working with, and we map out exactly how we're going to do it. Like we don't just throw it together, and sometimes like there's some artists that just throw stuff together and it looks great. But like for me, I'm very A-type. Like I have to know what is going to happen with each balloon that I'm tying together. Like where is it going? And before I move on, like there's my OCD kicks in and I'm like, okay, well, we have to fix this before we can get to this step. So every section that I work on is very intentional. Yeah. Yeah, and we focus on a lot of small details too. So I add in a lot of things like that would um in like make the design even more interesting. So like if I do something for a sushi restaurant, I would probably try to practice on like creating sushi roll balloons,
Mm-hmm.
before I bring it to like the install, and then I would maybe like glue on different sushi balloons to kind of make it look really fun if the client wants that. But if they're just like, Judy, just make it very chic, we don't want anything whimsical, then I'll tone it down. But yeah, that's what we specialize in, and what a lot of people know us for actually is the shape and how intentional our designs look. They can tell that there's a lot of thought that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, you established that brand identity.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, talking about that, like the process, and I feel like you're a very easy person to work with. So, your work speaks for itself and how amazing it is.
Hmm.
But I think
Thank you.
when people are contacting you, and it's also like how easy you are to, from a wedding planning and just planning in general, working with clients, just like us contacting you to getting on this podcast, like communication is so good. And I feel like you're such an enthusiastic person to work with.
Hmm.
So I think
Thank
that's
you.
what also sets people apart, especially if you run your own business. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I keep looking at that dog. So what is special about the dog? I feel like you brought that, and did people recognize it with your brand?
Yes, it's in a lot of my pictures.
Okay, okay.
So I have a pink one that I used for my branding, and then a lot of my friends just kind of gifted me, like they'll see a balloon dog and they're like, "Oh, J-pop," or a pink or purple, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta get this for her." So I actually have like 5 balloon dogs at my shop, and so I picked
Okay.
purple because naturally, whenever like that's kind of like my main brand color is purple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's the color of creativity,
Mm,
right? Purple?
is it
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite color. But
really?
I don't wear a lot of purple because, like, I don't know, I don't have a lot of purple clothing.
I
But you
think
pulled
you
it off
can
your
have a paper or a favorite color, but then you don't have to wear it,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think purple is so creative. And why is purple the main color of your J-pop co?
I just feel like whenever I look at purple, I don't know, just very stylish, and it makes me happy to look at the color. And I feel like it stands out in a certain way because a lot of times like brands will go for blue, pink, but then there's not a lot of purple that I see. And it kind of circles back to like K-pop. Like whenever I look at like the BTS album, it was like purple.
Hmm.
And I think they have that like what is it? The purple? Who's your purple?
Hmm.
Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard that song.
No, it's a saying that's like who's your purple? So who's the person that you like that makes you happy? And
Okay.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
don't quote me on that.
Is BTS your favorite band?
I like female artists.
Okay, okay,
So Blackpink.
okay. Who in Blackpink is like you identify most with?
Lisa.
Oh, I was gonna say
Oh,
that.
I love Lisa.
What's
Like
the
her
fuck?
vibe. Yeah, like her vibe.
Okay.
And Jenny's kind of like my second favorite.
Uh,
Yeah, but I definitely say Lisa, like her style. Like if I can dress like that,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
yeah.
Watch out, Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah. Lisa is she's the vibe. She's the
She's a
vibe. Do
vibe.
you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like you have to like fit in almost, or like to break into a new audience, like cater, veer from your brand a little bit?
Mm, I do, and I still feel like that's something that I am constantly like battling with because I'm like, do I want to, conform? But,
Mm,
you know, I but with my personality and my brand for both businesses, I've just been doing my own thing,
yeah,
and I feel like I don't know. I can conform, but I just enjoy just focusing and staying in my lane because I feel like whenever as an entrepreneur and as like you're building your brand, if you're trying to copy something else, like it's not gonna come off genuine. And I try to be very as authentic as I can. And so to remain authentic is me just staying in my lane, focusing on what I do best. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You are very authentic, and your brand is very bold, and yeah, it's very true to you. I feel like.
Yay.
Yeah, yeah. Man, that's crazy. So, how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
I've been an entrepreneur for is it 3 years?
Okay,
Wait, no. 4 years?
okay. What were
Right?
you doing before you started your own business?
Yeah, 4 years. Oh my gosh. I had to do like quick math. It wasn't quick math, but it was slow math. I was
I'm not good at math too. I'm one of those Asians that are not good at math. So
yeah, so I stuck
yeah,
with
yeah. I think we're similar. We're like the creative Asian.
PR.
Yeah, yeah. You know, they're like the scientific, the mathematic ones, and then they're the creative ones.
John, why are you laughing?
Our producer John is just dying right now. John, are you like are you a technical Asian? Are you STEM Asian
I'm a typical Asian.
that loves house music?
I hate house music.
No, it's just funny because I was like, it took me a second to do like quick math. Like, why did it take me so long to do that? It's like 4 years.
I hate math.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're also you're technical Asian.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny that you got 3 Asians.
Are not good at math in the same room.
We're not conforming. We refuse.
Yeah,
We want to be
exactly. Yeah.
different.
We don't want to be in a stereotype.
Yeah, we want to be different. We want to be our own people.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad. It makes me feel more comfortable because every time I'm like, with my other friends and they're like doing quick math with tips and everything, I'm like, they're like, they do it so fast, and I'm like pulling out my calculator. And I'm like typing it in, and they're like, "Oh, it's just this amount." I'm like, "Well, I still need to confirm with my calculator, making sure it's correct."
The two-factor authentication. Let me check.
You're right. It's like, let me just check this really quick with my calculator.
Yeah, same here. I bombed. So I was really good at geometry, like the shapes and stuff, visuals. But I bombed my math test so bad in college. I think it was like calculus or something like that, like advanced. I bombed it so bad that I was like, I'm just never gonna be a math agent.
Then, like, it made you go totally opposite role into the
Yeah,
creative.
we just kind of veer to our strengths. I was like, why do I have to keep pushing myself where I can lean into my strengths? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when are you ever going to use calculus? And
Yeah,
ever. You
yeah.
mainly just need to figure out how to, calculate tips and, tax stuff, that sort of thing.
So what were you doing before you started your business?
So before I was a corporate baddie.
Okay. That's where I'm at right now.
Corporate
baddie.
girly.
Okay. Got the
Yeah.
go-
Sedentary job.
Yeah.
Were you in county?
No. Oh
Okay, so
no.
you weren't in the
I
county.
was not. Thank goodness. I don't trust me with the books. No.
So what did you do in corporate, and when was like that point, the switch transition point?
So I did a lot of things in corporate.
Okay.
So I was in corporate for about 17 years.
Okay.
So a long time. I know you can't tell that I'm like really in my 30s.
These are 17 years? Like what?
17 years. I know. Don't do the math. Like you don't do the math right now. But yeah, 17 years in corporate. And honestly, I thought I would I bled corporate. I thought I would die in corporate. Yeah. I thought I would like retire in corporate. Like I had no interest at that time or like any entrepreneur bone in my body at that time. So I really thought that I was going to end up in corporate. So yeah, I was in corporate for 17 years. I did corporate banking.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh my God. We're kind of like in the same industry.
Are we?
Yeah, I work in the finance industry too, but I'm in the marketing.
Huh?
Oh my God. How was that? Like, what's that experience like?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I feel like I love stability.
Yeah.
That's the thing with me is I love stability. I know what to like. I want to know when to get my paycheck, what to expect, and I love climbing the corporate ladder. I feel like that was one thing that I did when I was in corporate was like whenever I was in a role, like what is the next step for me. So that was constantly me climbing the ladder and getting the accolade. It helped me to become more confident, so to grow in my career and to grow as a person and in my in the business aspect. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's I feel like I'm trying to get to where you are because
Right, like as a balloon artist,
yeah, yes, as a balloon artist, yeah, yeah, I'm getting
as an entrepreneur.
yeah, it's just hearing your experience. I also really care about stability, and that's something that's so scary to give up
I
when you think
know.
about starting your own business. What made you jump? Like, what made you make that transition?
So, hmm, it was a lot of things collectively, but um, I think whenever we planned our wedding, at that time, what I was doing in corporate was like I worked in a lot of things. So I started off as a, like in the beginning as a bank teller.
Okay.
And then from bank teller, the natural progression is banker. So I took on like the role as a banker, and at that time I had a really good mentor that really coached and developed me. So prior to banking, I didn't have that coach, mentor relationship with anybody. So I worked at like a retail store like Best Buy, and you didn't really get that training. So whenever I finally got the training that I didn't know I was craving, it really set me off on a different path. So I originally started banking to just be a temporary gig. Um, to go to school and then just to have something to pay, like kind of part time. But whenever I got into banking, I had that mentor that helped develop, train me, and like help me develop certain skills that I didn't know I had, and he was just helping me tweak those skills, like really sharpen that and help me kind of mute the skill, like mute the other, um, like the other things that you kind of do, kind of when you get into corporate banking, you learn to talk a certain way and carry yourself a certain way. So at that time, I was very unfiltered. I said a lot of things I was like that I just thought of, and it was not really professional. That makes sense. And so he helped me develop that skill to where he's like, okay, let's sharpen this and let's kind of turn down the volume on this. So it made a huge impact on me, and that was the change of the trajectory to where I really wanted to find a career in banking. And so I decided to go into the career as a branch manager.
Hmm.
So then I took on, so I basically did the banker role for a little bit. And then I went through the training to become a manager, to manage a branch. So I did that for a few years. And I realized that whenever you manage a lot of people, it's very stressful. But I took on, like, I remembered my coach, the one that coached me to, and really helped me develop certain skills. Like, I wanted to be that for, my employees. So I did that for a few years, and I, decided that I wanted to manage myself because it is a lot big responsibility when you manage people, like it is like constantly you're having to carry yourself a certain way. And I really just missed kind of just being like being able to just kind of drop that weight and just kind of be myself. And you can't do that with being a leader. Like you have to always be plugged in. You have to always be like ready
Hmm.
and hold yourself, carry yourself a certain way. Yeah, and it can get it's a big chip to carry.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a very, very big chip. And so after doing that for a few years, I decided to go into mortgage lending. So I did that for a little bit, and you don't have to be good at math for that because we use a calculator. So hopefully you're slicing these. People are gonna like be like, okay, J-pop, not good at math, great, all the things. Um, but mortgage lending, I did that for a few years. And so that took me from being comfortable with my salary position to now then being fully commissioned. So that kind of changed the way that I looked at, like stability and money, because that challenged me. Like I had about a whole year's of reserve saved up to where I was comfortable, but in the first, I would say 1 to 2 year, like 2 years, whenever you're doing mortgage, you're building a network of clients, and so you need to get your name out there. So it's like the first year you're not making any money.
Mhm.
So I think I made like under 10,000 that first year, which is crazy, And so, but fortunately had a reserve, so then it kept me comfortable. So after about 2 to 3 years of doing that, that helped me with the comfort of like teaching me that it's okay to step away from stability. Sometimes, like, you need to step away from what you're comfortable with and then like be confident with what you bring um as like a business owner to be able to grow in that area and scale,
Yes.
if that makes sense. So anyway, so that was kind of what made the start of it, to where it made me comfortable with like maybe stepping into entrepreneurship and not having that stability um in income. And a few years down the road, I took on the role as commercial banking, and at that time the bank needed somebody in marketing.
Mhm.
And they lost their marketing person, so they asked me to step in, wear that hat. And so between commercial and marketing, that's where I fell in love with like the marketing piece, which you have to use a lot of as a business owner, and working with building relationships with like nonprofits and like reaching out and doing all those things with community work. So that's, I feel like it kind of just, all of the positions that I took on in the later years kind of pointed me, like narrowed it down for me to take on the role as an entrepreneur more comfortably,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Totally. I feel like I couldn't resonate more with your story
Than just
because
people just saying like, "Oh, I've always had somebody that, in family that's in business," and then they just naturally do something in business.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's so underrated the fact that like there are ways that we can slowly transition from being in corporate and being like a 9 to 5 to starting our own business, like slowly transitioning over. It's not always like, you quit your job and start a business,
Mm-hmm.
those stories that we hear so often, like someone drop out of college, quit their full-time job and then started their own business and now they're the CEO of a tech company.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Now they're
not.
making a ton of money.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not always like that. I feel like the more realistic it's like you said, slowly transitioning over and finding what you're comfortable is and taking slow steps.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're like taking what you learn from your corporate experience, your leadership experience,
Mm-hmm.
from people leader to
Yeah.
self leading.
Yes. Which is like also challenging in its own way, but it's very rewarding. I feel like whenever you're building something that's your own and then you try something and it doesn't work, you try again. But it's different when you're building that like your own company, because it's a matter of it succeeding is how much you invest into it, which is very different compared to you work in corporate, you're
Yeah,
building somebody else's dream.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's like that meme where it's like I used to work 9 to 5 in corporate and now I work for myself 24/7.
I definitely work more now, but I feel like it's not um in corporate, it's just you know what to expect. You clock in, you do the same thing, and then you clock out, and it's like the same thing over and over. And I think at one point towards the end of that shift, to where I did take that shift to becoming, full time into my business, I realized I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't think I can do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy. And then time just, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just time. You only get to live this life once, so do it how you, what you think that, like do it, live your life how you want to live it and take risks.
Oh my goodness. I felt that. Like
Because
yeah.
I mean, you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and today is a gift. So do what you, yeah,
Yeah.
go after it.
This is
Get after it.
get after it. This is so good for our audience to hear, but it's also so good for me personally to hear. Like I'm at a point where this is exactly the conversations I need to have.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what's going on with you? Are you like kind of at that point right now, the crossroads of?
Well, yeah. So I, so
Yeah,
like
I'm switching this podcast.
no, there is actually like a question I wanted to ask,
Hmm.
but kind of leads to the point where I'm at is, transitioning and like, how do I slowly take steps to building my own thing
Hmm.
and give up the stability a little bit at a time? Yeah, like what's your advice for someone who's in your shoe, for someone who's wanting to start their own business?
Hmm.
And yeah, for someone who's afraid to give up that stability that they've always had.
Um, so I don't think there's any like right or wrong answer, but for me, what I learned from my journey is just do it. And I know it sounds very, very simple, but have you seen the
Should add the
Shia Shia
just
LaBeouf?
do it.
Shia LaBeouf? Yes. Yeah, yes. Okay. Yes, Shia LaBeouf. Um, have you seen his thing that's like, just do it? You seen that one? Like where he's very passionate.
Hmm.
Like you watched it back then. Did you watch it recently? Like
I
I know
know I've seen like it was like a meme or something like from the
it,
clips.
yeah, because back then it was really funny because it was like so unhinged, But if you watch it again now, it just hits different.
Really?
It does, like because back then we're just like, what's going on with it? Because he's
Yeah.
Transformers like franchise, and then all of a sudden he just kind of went off the rails a little bit. But it just popped up on my feed again, and I don't know why it popped up, but it just popped up on my feed again, and I was watching it. It just hits different,
Mm.
just like with me being in the season of life right now and me rewatching that, like it was very powerful. Like
Okay.
where he was just like, he was very unhinged on that, but he was like, just do it. And I was like, you know what? Like sometimes it's as simple as just doing it and taking that very first step. Sometimes you're not going to have all the answers. And I think that's with me is like, I'm a very like, I want to know all the answers. I want to do all the research. I want to have everything, all my eggs or all my ducks in a row before I make the jump. But the thing is, you can do all of that. You can do all the research. You can have all your ducks in a row, but it'll never feel like you'll never be ready ever to make that jump. So sometimes you just have to count down and just go 3, 2, 1 and just do it.
Hmm. Like I think knowing you have a community that will back you up also helps.
Yeah, exactly. And then you won't know, you're not guaranteed the success, but if like, like if you know yourself, like how hard you'll work for it, and like if you trust yourself,
Hmm.
that's all you need at the end of the day is just to trust yourself and know that all of the steps that you're going to take is going to take you exactly to where you need to be at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't worry about anything else. Like the what ifs.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's just noise.
Something you say, it doesn't guarantee success, but I think it guarantees the fact that you did it. Like, when we're down the road and we're looking back, and I think it just guaranteed that memory that we did it and we've given it a shot. And even though it doesn't guarantee success, but it guaranteed us fulfillment at that time.
Yeah.
It guaranteed us purpose.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow, geez, I needed this conversation so bad.
But I feel like you come off very like a go-getter, and like what you need to do, and you're very like knowledgeable in your craft.
Oh, thank you.
And also I've seen your podcast like with John, and it's just like really good.
Thank
And
you.
so I feel like that's what you should trust.
Yeah.
Is not, anything else but like knowing what you offer.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of times it's also like the Asian trauma that's within me too, where like I
Yeah.
have to have that stability, and
I know.
and also like when you're Asian and you're in a community, and I feel like you don't want to be seen as the one who's just like making it day by day. Like, you want to kind of set an example. I feel like there's the internal pressure, but then there's also external pressure of being Asian. I don't know if you ever felt that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Every day. Every day.
Oh my goodness. Now we're getting like a little dark.
Now we're getting dark.
Oh my goodness. Talking about
I know
trauma.
this is a soju conversation.
Jesus.
Like,
Yeah,
are
we
we
definitely-
making notes for the next conversation?
Yeah.
Like, just writing it
Yeah.
down? like K-pop, singing karaoke, and then now this.
Well, tell me an instance where you overcome that thought, as an Asian business owner.
Mhm.
Even like in your example in your J-pop co, is there like a case where you overcome something?
As a Asian,
As an Asian business owner.
yeah, so I feel like maybe not so much with my business now, because now I just try to focus on, like what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
And if, I feel like the clients that appreciate and can see that will book with me. And if they don't, then that's just not my client. And we don't have, but I hope that I want to be everyone's balloon person. But the thing is, I know I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. But I will find my clients and my community. But I feel like I struggled with that more before I was more focused on that whenever I was in banking. Like
Okay.
whenever I was working with people in um the finance side
What do you mean? Like what?
or mortgage lending.
Mm-hmm.
Um just like whenever I feel like a lot of the business that we do together is through emailing,
Mhm.
but whenever I would email them, I feel like if they saw my name or if they knew that I was another thing is too as a woman, people would kind of judge, like people in banking, they're harsh. They're like, "Well, we don't want to work with, you know, a woman, or we don't want to work, like we want to work." I don't know.
Yeah, I get
That
what
was
you're
kind
saying.
of like the
Mm.
feeling, like the insecurity that I had working in corporate, because I always felt like, and I've had somebody mention that too, where people, it's harsh. They're like, "Oh, well, I want to work with a man." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Or, at that time, I think before K-pop Demon Hunters became popular, where it's cool to be Asian now, it's trendy.
Mm.
But back then, whenever, like a few years back, you remember whenever it was like, um, not to get too political, but you remember whenever it was like, a lot of people like like COVID just happened, so a lot of,
Asian hate.
yes, and so that was a really like big insecurity at that time too, was like, well, I don't know if this is going to affect my business, and then having to worry about that. So
Hmm. What's kind of how did you work through that? I went through that too, and it was a tough time.
it was a tough time
Yeah,
for a lot of Asians.
yeah.
um I feel like just time, like whenever something like that first happens, it's a little bit daunting, but over time, just with time, anything kind of just, I guess, goes away
Hmm.
to where you're not too focused on that per se. But as soon as whenever it first happened, it was really like that was all I could think about. I was like, okay, like they don't want to do business with me because then they're probably being, hateful, and that's all you would see on social media too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My goodness. Yeah,
but I mean, you
yeah.
know, here we are.
We adapt.
We adapt.
We
Yeah.
adapt, and we push through. That's what Asian American immigrants are good at, is adapting and pushing through.
Oh yeah. And our family had to overcome so much too.
Are you
So
first generation?
yes.
Okay, okay, me too.
But hearing my parents' story, is just crazy sometimes, like what they would tell us a story growing up, and so you kind of you get used, it's like you're it's the norm, but now that I'm older, I'm realizing that I'm like, wow, they went through a lot.
Yeah,
But when you're younger, you don't realize that because you're just, like just oblivious. But
yeah.
now that I'm older and just hearing them retell their story, like again, I have a new appreciation for, like, I'm just so glad, like I'm very thankful to be a Vietnamese American, and, like to be where I'm at because of my parents and what they had to, our parents and what they had to overcome and, give up for us to have the life that we have. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think about the same thing. Or sometimes I'm like, yeah, because I'm first generation too.
Hmm.
Like, wow, yeah, my mom did went through a lot to bring me here. Therefore, I don't want to let her down. And sometimes I feel like that leads into another topic, which is like, that pressure. It's like, wow, they went through so much to bring me here, and I just cannot let them down. So like, I have to make money or be successful in some way, And yeah, I mean, for someone that was born here and they've always done their own thing, and I feel like would be hard for them to relate,
Mm-hmm.
with that kind of pressure. But yeah, another soju topic.
Another, I know, I feel like we need this is like, it can get very deep, like, that way we can just talk and just
Yeah, for
it'll be a therapy session too.
God.
Right, very
We're like working through our traumas.
But I would say my parents have become pretty modern, like in a lot of the way that they think and everything. Because I don't think for them now, it's they're just wanting their kids to just be healthy and be happy. So as far as pushing the agenda of oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be successful, this and that, like they're not so much focused on that, which is very healing. I feel like it's changing the direction of um internally, like what we internalize as the first generation. Your first generation too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, relieving that pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
for sure.
especially seeing people like you in the community, like, you're doing things that's outside of the stereotypes,
Yeah.
and you're starting your own business as an Asian woman, and I feel like seeing the role models like that, it also helps. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
That's
Oh,
cool to
yeah.
that's cool. I never thought of myself as a role model.
No, totally, totally. Well, I think we're like towards the end of our chat, and I just kind of end with like the last couple of things. Like, how did you get plugged in with the chamber? Like, what was your experience like?
With the chamber and how I got plugged in.
Uh huh.
Um, so I actually got plugged in through Teresa. Teresa, she was previously on the chamber too.
Hmm.
And she was reaching out. She actually reached out to me via Instagram for balloons, and it was for the 10-year anniversary, which I think was 2023,
Hmm.
right, to celebrate the chamber. And so she reached out about balloons to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, and then he plugged me in, and I ended up doing balloons for the 10-year anniversary, celebrating the chamber. And yeah, I signed up right then and there. I got to meet her, Cassie, as well as Crystal.
Hmm.
And I feel like it was new to me because they're like kind of my age, and so we just vibed together whenever I met with them. And whenever I join like any type of chambers, like I look for relationships. It's not just like, oh, what do you have to offer me? It's more like, like let's build a relationship together. And that was what drew me into become a member.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we try to foster, and at least that's what we try to do here. Tell your story, and
Hmm.
yeah, really trying to build that rapport with our members, and also elevate them, tell their stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
No,
care
you guys
about
are
all the
doing.
politics. We just wanted to tell our member stories.
No, I love seeing the chamber grow. Like you guys are doing such a great job. So, and it's an honor to be on the podcast. So whenever you invited me, I was like, whoa,
Oh my God, we're so happy to have you. This is like a long overdue conversation.
it is.
Yeah.
In possibly soju.
Yeah,
Are we
possibly
allowed to
soju.
drink on the podcast? Are
I
we?
don't think there's any rules
Oh
saying
my
that we
gosh,
can't.
I should have brought my bottles then.
Yeah.
Next time for sure.
Okay, so we end with podcast with last two questions on food. So it's
Oh,
super fun.
okay.
What's your favorite meal? Like almost your last meal favorite meal. It's absolutely favorite meal.
Oh, I have two.
Okay.
Okay, so I love Tortino's pizza.
Okay.
Hey, I'm easy to please whenever it comes to it's very nostalgic. I grew up eating Tortinos, it just doesn't disappoint. But my husband, he's very he would be so disappointed if he heard me say that because he gives me a hard time about my Tortinos. I love for Tortinos. He's like, I don't understand. I was like, you don't have to understand. It's bomb.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But yeah, Tortino hits.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it slaps.
Yeah, it slaps.
It's so good. So Tortino's and
Okay.
KFC. I love KFC.
Yeah, they're a great three-letter agency. I mean,
Even such a slap.
Okay, okay.
I threw you guys off. Is that-
Pizza and fried chicken. No, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, KFC.
Mm.
Like KFC is just the best tasting chicken,
Mm-hmm.
and with coleslaw and mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay. That is good. That is good. And then the next follow up is like, what do you don't like?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
If-
hard.
No.
I feel like Asians are foodies.
Mhm.
I eat everything. Like I guess if I had to pick bugs.
Bugs?
No, food wise. What would
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
for?
Food one. Wait, you said
Bugs?
bugs?
Asians eat bugs?
Yeah, I said like when I was born, we ate bugs.
That threw me off.
No, 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 it's real.
I've been trying not to cough, and you guys are making me cough.
We like the actual bugs. Like
Bugs.
okay. Where
Okay,
have you
wait.
eaten? Where have you?
If you want a more elevated answer, then I can give. But
No,
that's wrong.
That's great. Where have you had bugs?
Vietnam.
Okay, I had it in Thailand.
Do you like
Like-
tarantula?
Like yeah, I've had tarantula, scorpion, grasshoppers.
I don't think I can do. I think it's the fear of spiders. Like
Yeah,
I don't think I can do that. But is it good?
I mean the grasshoppers kind of taste like chips because they season it.
Yeah,
But no, I'm not a fan now. No.
you're not a fan. He looks so good. Yeah. So
Okay, we've never had the answer on here before, so that's a first. Yeah.
But yeah, bugs. Because my husband, surprisingly, he's half Filipino, half white. He will eat everything.
He likes
Like-
balut. Does he like balut?
Everything.
Okay.
Like that's why my family like loves him so much. It's like, Asians show their love for you, and like they sell, like everything is through food. Celebration is food. They show that they love you through food, like just basically feeding you.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he is just so easy, like he will eat anything, and he loves all of their food, like they love him.
Okay.
Like they're like, oh my gosh, and he's way easier than me. Like he will make me eat stuff. Like he made me eat cricket in Vietnam. But I think it was just the fact that it was a bug that I'm like, I don't want to do that. He's like, did you try? He's like, did you try it? I'm like, no. Well, how do you know you don't like it? I was like, because it's a bug. I don't want to eat bugs. And he's like, just try one. And then he always makes me just try it before I just cancel it out altogether. So I tried it, and you're just like what you said. It tastes like chips.
Yeah.
I just think,
Yeah, but if you think about it, it's nasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
So bugs. No, we don't do bugs here. No, not at JPOP
Not a
or Summer of 90. But KFC and Tortino's, I will tear that up any day.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Well, thank you so much, Judy. This is like the best conversation ever. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And yeah, looking forward to have you back. And we'll do soju next time for sure.
Yes. Okay, I'll bring it. But thank you so much for having me, guys.
That camera and just give your plug. Tell the audience like your business and like just say your elevator pitch and where can they find you.
Hi, everyone. Oklahoma. Here's where you can find me. Oklahoma. Here's where you can find me. You can go onto our social media on Instagram, Facebook. If you need balloons for any of your upcoming events, your birthday, wedding, anniversary, brand activations, all of that, you can find us through Instagram, where we're very active posting all of our recent work. So follow us on there. There's a link that you can click on to submit an inquiry. Or if you just have questions, you're more than welcome to just reach out and DM me, and I can answer general questions for you. For our wedding, you can go onto our Instagram at Summer of 90 Weddings and submit a discovery call with us to do a quick 10 to 15 minute call to where we get to know you and you can get to know us as wedding planners. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. It's been a wonderful conversation. And Judy, you're just simply amazing. We'll look forward to have you back with soju next time.
Yes. I will be looking forward to that invitation.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Okay.
Unhinged.
Okay, unhinged.
Yeah. After 3 shots, it's not going to be Judy anymore. Patricia.
Patricia.
Oh yeah. A few of my friends have met Patricia. So whatever is said after that, like, hey, that's all her.
Perfect. That's awesome. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode.